afternoon. I'd like to welcome you all to the Thursday, October 13th, 2 p.m. regular Oswego County Legislature session. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Michael Yurden.
Present.
Herbert Yurden.
Present.
Edward Gilson.
Here.
David Holst has been marked excused. Roy Behill.
Here.
John Martino.
Here.
Frank Lombardo has been marked excused. Paul House.
Here.
James Weatherup.
Here.
Mary Ellen Tresco has been marked excused. Linda Lockwood. Here. Richard Klein.
Present.
Patrick Twist.
Here.
Stephen Walpole.
Here.
Nathan Emmons.
Here.
James Scanlon.
Here.
Lori Magano.
Here.
Robert Wilmot has been marked excused. Marie Schad.
Here.
Tim Stahl's been marked excused. Noel Samuelson.
Here.
James Tarasek.
Here.
Michael Solomon.
Here.
Mark Greco.
Here.
Frank Castelia.
Wouldn't miss it.
Mr. Chairman, there's 20 present and 5 excused. Quorum.
Thank you. Would you please lead us in the invocation?
We want to thank you for this opportunity to serve the people of Oswego County and ask that you offer guidance in helping us to act with character and conviction. Although we may begin each day challenged, guide us to finish each day unified. Let us remember always that we labor not for ourselves, but for the vision of a better community, and that the weight that we carry may not always be seen, but will be forever felt. Amen.
Further on, we'll have a proclamation that deals with veterans, but would any veterans here please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I trust we've had a moment to review the minutes from the County Legislature's regular meeting on September 15th.
So moved.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Oops, sorry. Next speed. At this point, we would like to present a proclamation for the Oswego County 101st anniversary for the 4-H. I'd like the Economic Development Committee, along with Sarah McCormick and Marissa Avila, and any other representatives from 4-H to come forward. And as an FYI,
Mr. Chairman, that is 17 in favor, 2 opposed, and 1 abstain.
Thank you. Moving now to the Public Safety Committee, Resolution PS1 by Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Sheriff's Office, Insurance Recovery, 2020 Ford Utility Inspector.
It's an insurance check for a little over $6,000 that they'd like to put back into the fleet.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS2 by Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution accepting grant from the Oswego County ATV Club, Inc., related to enhanced ATV safety and enforcement.
And this is another $1,000 they've been given for the last couple of months to enhance safety on the trails.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS3 by Legislator Greco.
I offer this resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, E911 overtime.
Like all of our departments, we're facing shortages in manpower. He's looking for $15,000, hopefully to finish out the year and do it.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS4 by Legislator Greco.
I offer this resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing 5 new sheriff's deputies for building security.
Yeah, this is part-time to offer one position here and one at the health department. And so it's going to require 5 part-time people to do it.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Schott.
Mr. Chairman, have we had incidents that are directing us towards this? I mean, if the building's been threatened or?
Well, I think in history over the years, there's been a number of people that have threatened us at any one time, but not a specific one in like, say, the last 2 weeks or anything like that.
Will we have cameras on each entry and will we get metal detectors?
That is, Safety Committee could jump in on that. Anybody on, or perhaps Mr. Greco?
Well, there has been talk about metal detectors, right, Phil, that we discussed those, and that's coming down the line. As far as the deputy goes, and the cameras are in place, right? The cameras are already in place.
At every door?
They're not in place yet, but they're coming.
They're budget.
We budget, yeah.
Yeah, they're budget.
The older cameras.
Still on, yes.
Yeah, we have cameras currently.
Will we have coverage in here because we're going to be the first one shot?
So now you're in favor of the Second Amendment thing?
I never said I oppose the Second Amendment. You're putting words in my mouth. I never said that.
Just kidding, just kidding. Any other discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, in committee, I questioned this, I asked some questions. I came around, I talked with the chairman of the committee. I'm in favor of the added protection more now than ever, but also there were statements that were made in the committee, such as if we don't do this and we needed them and they weren't there, then we wish we had them. But the question I asked is, where are the people going to be placed? And one is going to be in this building down, going into the treasurer's office, into that lower part. But why wouldn't we put one also at the door on the 3rd floor and the door on the 1st floor, the 2nd floor coming in? And we need, like Legislator Schott said, we do need, during our meetings, I believe that we do need security in here. It's the utmost to have security wherever we can these days, and I'm in favor of this, but this is what I'm asking: why aren't we adding those spots now? I mean, I vote in favor. I'm going to vote in favor of it, but I want more because we need more.
I would add that at this point, we have the sheriff and the undersheriff here protecting us all.
Yeah, I think this is a start. I think this is a start of what we need to do. Let's get started with it. And as time progresses, if there's more needed, we can discuss that.
Regarding having deputies at the other doors, the system that was devised is that where the deputy is going to be the public entrance. The other entrances are going to be key fob and electric, so employees can go in and out with their card. So you don't need the deputy there, you need it for the public entrance.
I didn't know that during in the committee. I didn't know that, because I had asked if we could just have, scan our badges to be able to get in and out. But it was brought up that that's the general entrance for the general public. And now that you bring that up, that's excellent. Thank you.
And actually, the legislature clerk has been working on this. We have new badges coming. I think some of them are actually already printed. Swipe cards. You're going to be, all of us as legislators and employees, you're going to have to start getting used to wearing your badge all the time.
That's quite all right.
Well, you won't be able to get into that one.
True story. Any other discussion?
Will everybody get a passable badge?
Excuse me?
You know what I'm talking about.
Any other pertinent discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution PS5 by legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Sheriff's Office, corrections, portable radios.
Yeah, this is an upgrade in the radios. The radios that they have now are 25 plus years old. Repairs are being done down in Mexico. They can't get them back in on the time to upgrade. It's about $90,000 for 90 radios at present. And I think we should move this. It's important for their safety.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to Human Services Committee, resolution HS1 by legislator Rita.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution approving Parks and Recreation fee schedule.
This is just an update, in particular to include some of the work that we've done over Camp Zerby, upgraded fee schedule for usage.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS2 by legislator Rita.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution appointing member to the Community Services Board.
This is to appoint Mr. Patrick Wade to the Community Service Board for a term that expires in 10/31/26.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS3 by legislator Rita.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Social Services, adoption subsidies.
This is in addition to the adoption subsidies. It's based on a need, based on a cost of living increase.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator
Just
Castillo.
explain a little bit to me with it. Why wouldn't the state pick these up? I'm wondering.
Take up a lot of times.
I'm saying.
This is reimbursed at approximately 78% by state and federal funds.
Well, why wouldn't they pick up the increase that we have? That's all. That's all I'm asking. I'm just pushing for it, that's all. I'm going to vote in favor of it, but I just wondered.
Commissioner, does you have any comment on this?
I haven't approved why the state keeps pushing all of these costs to the local districts.
Another unfunded mandate.
Yeah, this is just a shortfall. The local budget modification is being paid from safety net because it's underspent. So it doesn't affect the budget.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS4 by legislator Rita.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding professional services contract RFP 22-OFA-005, legal services for the elderly.
This is for the Office of the Aging, legal services for the elderly.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS3, September, by legislator Rehale.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Social Services, indigent burial fee schedule.
These have not been increased since January of 2007. It's overdue, and I think it's appropriate.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Schott.
I'm just curious, is this for homeless only?
Anyone who has no resources. Is that correct?
Yes.
So,
No family, no,
not necessarily, they don't have.
No assets, no funding, no.
so this could be half the city, half the county. Are we bidding this? These fees?
It's not able to be put to bid.
Why?
There's a number of reasons based on the locations where people pass away, and the family actually does, if there is family, has some say in which funeral home folks go to.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Under Economic Development and the Planning Committee, as many of you now know, Micron Technology is a global leader in chip making. They have announced plans to build a massive manufacturing facility just outside the county in the town of Clay. Micron's decision to invest billions of dollars in our region is a substantial opportunity for the county, and we must do what we can to ensure the spillover effect and supply chain connections that provide jobs and tax revenue in our county as well. We have ample land and development ready sites near the Micron site, and it's critical that we take action to make these attractive to prospective firms that will support the chip-making process and supply chains as Micron builds out the Clay facility over the next 2 decades. Having said that, moving now to Resolution EP1 by Legislator Huff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Community Development, EPA Brownfield Grant Funds.
Thank you. It's basically what it says. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Will the Nestle site in Fulton be available to acquire some of these funds?
I'm not familiar with that.
The Nestle site is actually a brownfield. Yeah.
There would be okay. Making sure. Okay.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving now to the Health Committee, Legislator Karasik, HE1.
HE1 is a resolution establishing a capital project for electronic health reporting system. What this does is it will expedite the billing. Contrary to what a lot of people think, that they just have money and spend it, they also bill insurance companies back for shots, other services that they provide. That is all done pretty much manually and put in the system, and this would speed that process up.
Thank you. Any discussion?
The clerk should read the.
Oh, duh. My bad. Will the clerk please read that?
I covered it.
Well, you want to
I told you what it was.
Resolution establishing capital project number 0922, electronic health record, EHR system.
And remember what Legislator Karasik said. Any discussion?
Remember what I said.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HE2 by Legislator Karasik.
Would you like to read the heading?
Resolution authorizing acceptance of grant funding and creation of temporary position, Health Department.
So this is funding to come in, $64,725. And that was an increase from 27,069. This would allow us to hire create a temporary position with the children, youth, and special health care need coordinator in the Children with Special Needs Division. So I would just comment that NISAC was pounding on this session this year and recognized that there was going to be an increase, but has asked for more.
Thank you. Any discussion? One more.
One of the resolves is a blank salary grade. I don't know if that was changed in committee and switched out by tax so.
I don't think so, Rich. I was
So then it should be meant to put salary grade in for the position.
Is that listed in yours, Jim?
Finance personnel went through, no, mine's a blank.
Okay, then we probably should have met that.
Did finance approve that? Set the grade, or do they have to?
Legislator Martino, do you recall if it was the finance personnel?
And finance personnel.
And it did pass at a grade? May you recall what that is?
The budget form has a grade 10. I don't know if that, I assume it's correct, but that should be amended to put that in the resolution.
Yes. Okay. So what we're going to need to do is amend this to include that in this resolution. So
I make an amendment, we put.
make a motion to amend. Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused on the amendment.
Okay, so now we're back to, so we understand, it's grade 10. We're all in agreement? Okay, the original resolution then. As amended. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution AG3 by Legislator Carrasco.
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Health Department, spraying to control disease-carrying mosquitoes.
She's doing it on purpose. Okay, so this, we go through this every year when we spray for mosquitoes. The cut and dried rule is we pay the bill and then the state reimburses. If we put it in our budget, the state doesn't have to reimburse it. So we pay the bill and get it done, and now we have move.
Understood. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving now to infrastructure, facilities, and technology. Legislator Walpole, IT1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer the following resolution.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Solid Waste, Earth, Gas, and Oil.
It is as written in the amount of $20,000. There's your recovery facility for storage and gas and oil.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution IT2 by Legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Solid Waste, overtime payments.
The Department of Solid Waste, like many others, is experiencing a shortage and they're having to cover the workload with overtime. This is in the amount of $23,500.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
This is coming out of the enterprise fund, correct? Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, there's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT3 by Legislator Walpole.
Mr. Chairman, offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Solid Waste Highway expense.
Mr. Chairman, this is transferring $35,000 from a surplus in the recyclables, recycling fund, and moving it over to highway expenses to offset some equipment expenses.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, there's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT4 by Legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Solid Waste, Earth, Electricity.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as many of us know, the earth, as we produce steam, sometimes it's going to the turbine and we sell it back to the grid. Sometimes it goes next door to the neighbor. And if it does not go next door to the neighbor, we in turn have a bill. And our monthly bill there has been rising. And this is
Couldn't hear the last part.
that's in the amount of $25,000.
You're at
Couldn't hear
25,000.
the whole thing. This is the end of it.
Any discussion?
Explanation.
Oh,
Legislator
Yeah.
Shaw.
okay, well, we ended, well, as we know, the steam that was produced, is that what you meant? Usually, when it goes to the grid, we don't have a bill, and when it goes next door to this Interface Solutions, and now recently changed hands, then we do have a power bill there, and it's been a period of time, and now the costs have gone up, and there wasn't enough in the budget to cover it, so we need to move $25,000.
Thank you. Legislator Shaw.
Okay, this seems like the negotiation needs to be relooked at. This is poor. We shouldn't be paying $25,000. We're making a lot of steam. Is this we're under a 1-year agreement with them, correct? Or is it a, but I mean, this just doesn't make sense to me.
I can get with you afterwards and go over how it works, is that this isn't
I
the
understand.
agreement with them next door. It's just that when we're not sending it out on the grid, we're not making money. We'll cover it.
Is there a way we can utilize it when we're not sending it out?
Absolutely. There was talks of some of our upgrades where we can continuously, if we produce more steam, where we can continuously supply the grid as well as our neighbor. Those are some of the upgrades which we're looking at.
I think we should be nimble on all fronts as far as power and any usage goes.
We have had those discussions about increasing output there. Any other discussion? Legislator Castillo.
I just have, is there any way that we, solar panels help us in any way, shape, or form, or is that completely out of that?
Not so much there, the location where it's at, you know where it's at.
Right, I know, I was just wondering if we put in solar panels would help us along.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, there's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT5 by Legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, Highway Department, insurance recovery into highway expense.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is in the amount of $5,028.24. It's reimbursement on the insurance to the highway expenses.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, there's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT6 by Legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, airport electricity.
This is, as written, the airport's electricity, due to rising costs, there was not budgeted in it, it's in the amount of $10,000.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
Okay, I have a business account, much smaller than this, but I haven't seen that big an increase. So they must be really busy at the airport? Is that what's?
Lights.
Because like normal, as we get towards the end of the year, this is a common thing we see. There wasn't enough
It's a
being
poor,
out.
poor business model long-term. They should raise the rates.
Right.
Any other discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Well, we all knew for a while now that the cost of electricity is going to go up. Did we raise the rental fees to cover, it's going to be, covered on our costs? Or are we staying with the same rental fee,
I know they're established for a period of time. It's all contracted. It's all contracted.
You mean everybody that goes in there? Because I got a good friend who lives down the street from me now. He signs a contract to pay only X amount of money, and that's all he's going to pay.
Right, that's an annual thing that comes up. We change the fees when that contract comes up.
Okay, now, the second part of this thing is, why can't we put solar panels out there? We have them at the landfill in Crystal Hill, which helps us with our electric bill. Why wouldn't we put them in, it's wide open out there at the airport.
I know
Why
there-
couldn't we put them in out there?
I know, speaking with the director before, there are some stipulations on where we can put them out there, regardless of the airport, you need so much open space.
It has to be approved. I certainly am not an expert on this, but just because you have a solar panel, you have to connect it to the grid. You have to have a instrument in the grid system to take that power away, or it does nothing. It has been looked at. I know the airport director has looked at this a little bit, probably 2 years ago or so. Just not feasible yet. Any other discussions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT 7 by Legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, airport, gas and oil.
Yes, like most other departments, they're experiencing a shortage in their budget for gas and oil. This is the amount of $60,000 to carry through the rest of the year.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
Didn't we give 75,000 a couple of meetings ago for this very same thing?
Fuel sales have increased this year, even though the cost of fuel has gone up. We have sold more gallons, it's just costing us a lot more gallons, a lot more money up front to purchase.
So will you reimburse us when sales are completed?
Yes, it does go back into the highway general fund
When?
when it's sold.
I'll be interested to see that.
Obviously, there's an expense line for the gas and there's also a revenue line for the sales. They offset each other. So that money is coming in throughout the year because we expend money, but we also receive money throughout the year from the gas sales. And that's all reconciled at the end of the year by the treasurer's office.
Legislator Castillo.
I believe, like Legislator Shad said, it was 2 months ago, I think it was, we allocated $70,000 or $75,000. That came from the general fund. This is coming from the unappropriated fund. Is there a difference between the two, or is just the wording is not correct?
This is coming from the highway department's own unappropriated fund balance. Each fund has a fund balance.
So they have their own fund balance that the revenue goes into.
Right.
But the last time, we had to take it out of the general fund.
Who is it for?
It was for the same thing, gas and oil.
So for what department?
Same department, the wording is the same thing. They're asking for gas and oil.
That was for the airport as well, but I believe
Right.
one was for the equipment, things at the airport. This has to do with
The fuel itself.
I'd have to see the budget amendment to see which fund it came out of.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 1 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT-8 by legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to amend this resolution to remove the second resolved paragraph and change the amount from $8,250 per mile to $9,000 per mile and add for the term of 1 year to expire September 20th, 2023.
Okay, so just for procedure, would the clerk please read the heading?
Oh, yeah.
Resolution authorizing the county highway superintendent to enter into snow and ice agreements on certain terms.
Thank you. And as legislator Walpole has identified, this does need to be amended, as he stated. Are we clear on that? Any discussion on the amendment? Legislator Castillo.
The reason we're raising it is because of the increase in gas and
Well,
to the municipalities.
we were on the 3-year contract,
Right.
and as we were going through negotiating back and forth, the rising cost of fuel, things really got jumbled. So we agreed to go to this amount for a 1-year bridge contract, and that hopefully next year things calm down a little more. We can sit back down and reevaluate.
Good enough.
Thank you. And we'll need a second on the
I'll
amendment.
second that.
Okay. Second by legislator Gilson. Any discussion on the amendment? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
So the original amendment, or the original resolution as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Moving to resolution IT-9 by legislator Walpole.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the execution of 2 leasehold mortgages concerning improvements to be made at the Oswego County Airport with the Oswego County Industrial Development Agency and the Central New York Enterprise Development Corporation regarding a lease as between the County of Oswego and the Giroux Aeronautical Company, LLC.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would like to refer to our county attorney, Mr. Mitchell, explain this one in greater detail. I understand it, but
Mortgage attaches the promise to repay the real property. The county owns the airport, doesn't wish to encumber it with mortgage liens. So these are leasehold mortgages that attach to the lease, between the county and Giroux. Giroux has sought financing from the IDA and CNY EDC to expand operations at the airport. And it needs this they need this security to guarantee that we're protected.
exactly what Mr. Mitchell said.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving now to Finance and Personnel Committee, FP1 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I go into this, FP1, FP2, and FP3 are all to coincide in being in compliance with New York State. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution amending the sexual harassment policy for the County of Oswego.
As I stated, to be in compliance with New York State.
Understood. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
What is it, what changed then?
Every year they update it, and every year we have to agree to amend to their policies. And even if they don't change it, we still have to do a resolution on the floor saying that we'll do what you want.
Okay, I guess that's good enough. Yeah, it'll have to be.
Would you like to
No,
elaborate?
it'll have to
Any other discussion?
be. Wait a second. Somebody's going to explain something.
I can add to that. It's, the New York State Human Rights Law amended and added a new subdivision, adding a confidential hotline to the policy, and this is basically to adopt the model plan that New York State adopts, adding that confidential hotline.
What's the hotline number?
We'll get it.
I can tell you.
Any other discussion?
Thank you.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP2 by legislator Martino.
I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution creating a heat illness prevention policy for the county of Oswego.
And this is to be in compliance with New York State.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Rito.
Does that mean we can open more windows because it's hot in here? No, I'm okay.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Resolution FP3 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution creating a noise and hearing conservation policy for the county of Oswego.
And this is to be in compliance with New York State.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you now. Legislator Rivers.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion. We have the rules of the legislature for the consideration of FP4, JC7, and CH1 only.
Second. Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. Legislator, Resolution FP4 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the execution of a memorandum of understanding with the Oswego County Professionals Association, Inc. to amend Appendix A of the collective bargaining agreement.
We had some titles and name changes within our county that did not coincide with union nomenclature, more or less. This will acknowledge the positions that were created or changed, the name and title, to work with the union.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 excused.
Thank you. For Resolution GC7, today's a monumental day for the county and the former Miller Brewing site. For years, the site has changed hands and has not lived up to its full potential despite promises made by property owners to restore its status as an economic engine for the county. With the actions the county is taking today, however, I believe the site will be placed in capable hands and become a productive property and job creator. The county is taking possession of these tax delinquent parcels and working closely with the former owner's creditors to complete a sale to a qualified energy supply company that plans to resume ethanol production at the site. Unlike the previous owner, our intention is to involve a well-established operator of similar facilities. In addition to transferring the property to responsible owners, the county is acting today to establish a capital projects to address the ongoing nuisance. Having said that, Resolution GC7 by legislator Gilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and certainly urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the chair of the legislature to execute a stipulation on certain terms with High Score Capital LLC regarding Addis Ethanol Fulton LLC tax delinquent parcels.
Yeah, I'd like to start by thanking you, Mr. Chairman, and the Vice Chair, as well as the Vice Chair, Ms. Lockwood, and the County Attorney for, along with others, to diligently follow this process through. This has been a contentious situation for a couple of months now, and we thank you for coming to a resolution.
Thank you. It has been brought to my attention by the county attorney that what we'll need is a small recess at this point to...
Yeah, I noted in the resolution and stipulation is distributed, the resolves are missing, so we need to get the resolution with resolves.
Look for a motion for...
Make a motion to go into recess.
Second.
Motion to come out of recess.
Okay, welcome back. We're out of recess. We do have now in front of everyone the amended pages that we're going to add. It does go along with the original. Everybody clear on this now?
So what you can do is amend GC7 to include the resolves on the handout that we're missing from the first copy. And the stipulation remains the same. Stipulation in order draft remains the same.
Okay. Everybody clear? Looking for a motion to amend by Legislator Reedhill?
Second.
Multiple seconds. Any discussion on the amendment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to point out that Legislator Martino has left chambers, so that is 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. Back to the original resolution as amended. Any discussion? Legislator Carrasco.
Thank you for your hard work on this. It's about time.
It's not over yet.
It's first step.
First step. Big. But again, thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Cook.
Yes, just that the efforts that you put into this, I think it's noted, should be noted that you have made the county whole with the agreement with the monies that were allocated.
Thank you. Legislator Castillo.
I'll just say thank you again, Mr. Chairman. I know that I've been very accountable, asking accountability on this, and I've been asking for it for a long time. As there's a lot of people in here that also, their constituents are looking for a resolve on this. And we want to thank you for your hard work on this, and hopefully it'll end real soon. Thank you.
Thank you. I know how hard that must be for you, Legislator.
No, I say thank you when it's needed.
Well, again, thank you all. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. Moving now to Resolution CH1 by Legislator Weather. Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, legislative account, Addis.
Yes, thank you. This is to set off the capital project so that we can begin to assist in a timely fashion of taking away the nuisance that has been in the community there for some time. I and others wish it had come quicker, but at least we're moving forward, and we will update you soon with the dates of when it will actually happen. Any other discussion?
Baby step 2.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. Moving now to unfinished business. Oh, I
I knew it was coming up.
Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman and fellow legislators, I will continue to champion for accountability in the Jordan Brooks case until we get it resolved and we have some accountability for that. And I realize that there is a criminal case involved in this, but there's still a study that's going on, that's ongoing, and until I can get some resolve from that, I will always ask for accountability, and I will always support anybody that's asking for accountability on this process. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other unfinished business? Thank you. Moving now to miscellaneous business. Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, with us handing out ARPA money the way we are, I would like to know if we can get some ARPA funds to put into an executive account held here that would purchase some ties that could be distributed and handed out before a full legislative meeting for people that I know that a lot of people are coming directly from work and they're not able to have a tie with them when they come right from work, but we would be able to have a tie on when we come to the legislative meeting. I was wondering if maybe we could do something like that.
That's your request.
Okay, let's see this, Tim.
Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to remind everybody that there is a community safety initiative meeting immediately following this legislation.
Thank you. And that will be in these chambers or in the conference?
I believe we're in here. Yeah, it's a big crowd.
Thank you. You're all welcome to attend if you so desire. Any other miscellaneous business? Thank you. Public comment period. Legislator comments. Paul.
Adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Stand adjourned. Public comment period. Shauna Redding. Come forward.
Speak loud, please.
All right, I'll do my best.
Thank you. You understand, obviously, we have
I'll borrow one of your.
I'm not sure what more I can say that hasn't already been said on Howard IDSS. I made valid points that seem to be clear, and it's all on you. Many are watching, waiting to see if you say the same or not. People have taken time to email you. Different people, different topics. Trusting you would respond or be some kind of help. They were disappointed. These are your constituents you've ignored. People that you claim and are supposed to care about. You're making it hard for parts of the county to believe that you care. Many of you, if not all, are not thrilled with my social media, and I'm not thrilled that it reached a point that it had to be made. I'm not thrilled to see the amount of people suffering and nothing being done about it. Honestly, I would have never made it, but once Jordan's case came out publicly, the reality of there being a serious issue of child abuse being ignored and knowing our children weren't alone. As I's are being dotted, T's being crossed, the inevitable that I kept trying to avoid is necessary. Since changes are not made, I now have to take steps in holding the county and DSS accountable. There are plenty of things to bury DSS in this county, and you know it's true. With the amount of laws broken and rights being violated, it doesn't look good, and of course it's true. It's great the county has a drug task force. Repeated calls of drug dealings in several areas, only a few get caught, very few. It's hard to believe, but possible that no one knows the amount, locations, and people bringing it in. From my understanding and pinpointed allegations, nothing has been investigated. There is enough to show in your own agencies. There is a problem for years. Landlords are in on it. They know about drug dealings and do nothing. They continue to let them stay. Police let them go more often than not. The past continues to haunt us because most things have not changed for the better. You want a beautiful area. This is your time to shine and clean up. It's only a matter of time before Oswego County will be a bigger embarrassment than it already is. Mark my words, our county is a joke to so many. And it's sad. Do you really want that? My husband, who has learned knowledge since he was a teen in mechanics, have brought to my attention on tax dollars being wasted on a new skid steer and loader. He does light and heavy machinery and acknowledges it's not a hard fix and be cost effective to fix it than replace it. I'm disgusted that the county or state takes money from children. Child discharge, child support gets taken when children are home, no matter how long. Over $3,300 was taken from our child, while over $40,000 was stolen from us. We get told that's a protocol, not everyone gets their kid back. So depriving a growing teen food, clothes that were desperately needed, necessities and bills that help get run up just by having kids. Not everyone drinks, do drugs, or goes on constant shopping sprees. This is a poor excuse for greed. Sometimes it feels like the CPS or the state is just waiting until you're in poverty to take your child away. We've asked and pleaded for change. Many many feel let down. People are tired of corruption. I know more than I'd like to. We really need to try to see things from the public's point of view. More people will be vocal. It will continue to grow. And just because one member here speaks the loudest doesn't mean he's wrong. Thinking I'm like the others was one of the first mistakes that was made. One last thing to better educate you. Some of you will get exactly what I'm saying. Not only do the Mennonites shun cremation, but so does Islam and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. For future reference, too many topics that need discussed further, so I just touched base on a few. You're responsible to help create changes that need to be made. It starts at the top and it starts with you. Thank you for your time.
Is there any other public comment? Hearing none, thank you all for coming.